Tamoxifen, Clomid, HCG. Those are an effective post-cycle therapy. This is not. Huge Supplements are a company who apparently only produce supplements that are backed by science, except for these, and these, and these, and these. Now don't get me wrong, there's Turkesterone, which isn't proven to be effective, but also doesn't seem to have terrible side effects associated with it. Yet. There's BCAAs, and to be honest, if you're still buying the supplement, if your knowledge about supplementation and what is scientifically proven to be effective is still stuck in the 90s, that sounds like your fault. The usual suspects that social media supplement companies will shill. One of their supplements, touted and pushed by Mr. Mental Security himself, is pretty worrying. Post-cycle therapy is the process of attempting to restart your natural production of testosterone after utilizing anabolics, something which suppresses your natural production. These drugs are utilized in order to boost testosterone production in your body, get you back to normal, and end the suppression. But recovering testosterone production after using anabolics is a gamble. It's not guaranteed that you're even going to be able to, even with the correct approach. It's not something which is deeply scientifically researched, for the very reason that the only case where you need a post-cycle therapy is when you've run a cycle of anabolic steroids or anabolic agents at supraphysiological doses. And this isn't something that's studied within science because this isn't what they're for. There's no gain for anyone to study the most effective post-cycle therapy. And all that we can do is go on the literature that's available in connected studies, maybe with different goals other than assessing PCT, and try to apply them to decide basically what we're going to use from the world of pharmaceuticals with data to back it up. But fear no more, bodybuilders of the world. We don't need to use these pharmaceutical products. We don't need them because we now have Rebirth PCT by Huge Supplements. Rebirth PCT has a plethora of natural test boosters, all of which are either unproven or inconclusive, or if they are going to have any effect, it's going to be pretty minimal. Acacetin, I believe it's called, is touted to be a natural AI, aromatase inhibitor. It's very difficult to find any information about this because it's still very early stage. It's practically a research chemical at this point. And yes, it's natural, it's from the plant world, but so are a lot of things. According to Wikipedia, it works as an AI on ferns. So there's that. If you're a fern, you're in luck. They don't know what it could be used for. They don't know effective dosing. They don't know the dangers. It has not been through the clinical trials required to utilize it properly outside of studies. It might help with Parkinson's. It might help with cancer, but it's not being used for any of those because it is not proven to be effective. Just as there is no direct information to suggest that it is effective as an aromatase inhibitor or as something which can help to kickstart the natural production of testosterone again in humans. In fact, beyond plants, it doesn't seem like there's much information on this at all. Even if there was, why would that be a good thing? Crashing your estrogen is a very bad thing. Aromatase inhibitors basically block the conversion of testosterone into estrogen. The logic behind these over-the-counter aromatase inhibitors, which walk the line of legality, is that if you block the conversion to estrogen, that leaves more testosterone, which isn't quite how it works. You've already got one crashed hormone in the form of testosterone, so not much of that is going to be converted to estrogen because there ain't none left over. The amount that does is going to be pretty damn vital. Estrogen contributes towards muscle function, brain function, sex drive, your libido, plenty of issues which are pretty damn important for leading a good quality of life. Estrogen is your friend, no matter what people on Reddit might say. No energy, chronic fatigue, aches, joint pain, muscle issues. You're going to have some damn big problems if you tank this stuff. The test that would be recovered if you did block the aromatization would be negligible, and even if it did work, that's not a desired outcome. Now granted, this supplement seems not to be really effective. I'm sure there's anecdotal cases out there where people bounce back, but people bounce back from steroid cycles or SARM cycles or pro-hormone cycles on their own all the time when they're young enough. But a couple of cycles in, this isn't usually the case. And moreover, to be successful, you have to be lucky, you have to be young. And quite simply, I don't think that's a worthy risk to take when it comes to your hormone production. Do you want to end up on TRT for life because you messed up and trusted Brandon Harding that this supplement is an effective post-cycle therapy? I'm not saying that's going to be the norm, but it might happen. And this is the problem. You can get validation through external people hyping up your product and just saying it works, rather than having to build your brand reputation through results alone. People will say that something works when it doesn't. Greg Doucette was selling fake Turk and people would say it's 10 out of 10 quality stuff for a good year or two. Unfortunately, this kind of stuff gives weight to these stupid claims from these supplement companies, which quite simply shouldn't be allowed to be made. Unfortunately, attaching your name to a product does have an effect. You are manipulating young teenagers into purchasing stuff, and I know that's not actively what you're doing. And this isn't particularly aimed at any one person, to be honest. This supplement company sponsors plenty of people. It just so happened to have crossed my desk because of Brandon Harding. I don't actually have a grudge against the guy. Do I think he could make better decisions sometimes? Sure, but I am not leading his life, and I'm sure that he's doing just fine without my input. But part of me just thinks it's my responsibility, or everyone's responsibility, to cast a light on these companies which are potentially damaging the health of the youth, while we're at a point where a record number of kids are jumping on anabolics, on tren even, at a very young age, simply for social media, simply because their favorite social media guru is on them and says this is how you do it, or simply because tren has become a meme, they will try it to get a few new followers. This is the world that we live in, and now more than ever it's important to be responsible, to take responsibility for the fact that you're attaching your name and your reputation to a product which does not deserve it. You're complicit in impacting the health of the youth and impacting people who genuinely want to make progress and probably shouldn't be messing with this stuff. And if they did want to go into this world, they should be doing the things that actually cause your growth and your progress, the more serious shit. And I'm not saying that anyone should, but my God, it's better than the alternative being touted here. This supplement is not just ineffective, it is expensive. Look at that price tag. It costs next to nothing for SERMs, for HCG, stuff which is actually going to have a significant effect on your recovery. The only thing this is going to help you with is having a bank balance that matches your test levels. There are no natural alternatives that are proven to be able to raise or recover your testosterone production fully, or to have any significant effect, in fact. If there was a natural alternative, don't you think that every bodybuilder in the world would be using this? Don't you think they wouldn't utilize all these other pharmaceuticals which come with a host of side effects and are a bit of a nightmare to run properly according to the most advanced protocols out there, which probably will help you to recover your production? Don't you think they take the easy route? The simple reason that they don't is because it does not work. Now, I understand Brandon's defense will probably be that he uses this alongside the pharmaceutical ways to recover his testosterone. It's just a supplement. It can't hurt, right? Well, it's going to hurt the people who follow you, because chances are they don't have access to proper PCT. If they did, they'd know it's effective, and they know they wouldn't need to run this in any way, shape or form. And if SERMs and HCG therapy are not helping you to recover your natural production, then a natural supplement ain't going to do anything for it. It is weaker than those. So if the stronger alternative that is proven to work is not working, then the weaker alternative is not going to work. This isn't the only company selling this kind of product. This isn't the only influencer selling this kind of company. But really, in 2022, BCAAs?